Hey guys, we are back in the flight simulator here, sitting back at Oceana, where we left off last time. I felt the last little flight I had there with Janet was a bit of a mess, but today I'm gonna kind of step back, uh, you know, try to
Center traffic, Piper 7 Victor
practice.
Mike,
Oh
on a
no!
5-mile final, runway 29er, inbound full stop, Oceano.
Oh, of course, there is Oceana traffic. Oh.
Oceano traffic, Piper 7 Victor Mike, clear runway 29er, taxi departing, last call, Oceano.
Oh, good job. So that is indeed SayIntentions. It's popping in there. One little thing about SayIntentions, so that is the multiplayer part of it. That's an archived multiplayer for the frequency that I'm on. I wasn't actually expecting it because all our power's off. So currently the program does not see if the power's on or off. It just knows that we are tuned in to that frequency. So we'll be using SayIntentions for the flight today. As I was saying, I was going to get back sort of to the basics, trying to learn proper flight and all that. So we're in the default Cessna for a couple of reasons. Well, actually, primarily because I actually want to get into NeoFly again, and I actually have a career going there, not too far along, but it's using this default Cessna. So I figured I'll keep practicing with it. And the other thing I'm doing to sort of learn is I'm actually using the PilotEdge sort of ATC lessons. That's kind of weird to use PilotEdge maybe since I'm using SayIntentions AI, which is competition for it, but I think there's place for both. Hopefully PilotEdge is doing okay. I'm going to practice their stuff because I am interested in trying PilotEdge one day, hopefully. And we'll see how SayIntentions ATC kind of holds up to against like a real person's ATC, but not this episode because this one's just uncontrolled to uncontrolled. That's kind of their first lesson. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hop over to Navigraph, if I can get that loaded up on the screen here. It's gonna show the flight. So we got the sectional up here, and the first flight they have is Oceana, which kind of works well because that's where I left off. I always like continuing where I left off, which is really good with NeoFly. The good thing about NeoFly is it, keeps the status of your aircraft, like the maintenance for it, and you have a bit of a business to it, and it remembers where you are. And it also penalizes you for taxiing too fast and things like that. So it's kind of why I want to get into it. But pretty much we're heading almost straight east to L88, Lima 88, New Uyama. Yeah, it's just an uncontrolled little strip. The runways are actually the same direction. We'll be taking off runway 29 here, so almost straight to the west, as well as landing on runway 29. So it's just a straight shot. It doesn't go through any kind of airspace or anything like that. San Luis is up here. So as long as we turn left, which you're supposed to do out of Oceana, because there's like noise restrictions turning right here, so you're supposed to go left. Watch out for kites and all that sort of stuff on it. Navigraph doesn't have the chart for Oceana, but I looked it up the one time, and it's I should pull it up again since I hang out here so much. You have to watch out for kites and birds, and I don't know what the symbol means, but anyways, yeah, if you turn, you can't really do a right pattern here or anything like that because of the noise. So we'll take off there, and then we got to head this way. The reason I got the sectional is I needed to see elevation. I don't know how to see elevation in Navigraph except for using the charts here, because you'll see over here the highest point is 7,200 feet, and PilotEdge recommends that 7,500. So that is what we'll be doing. So we got to climb up fairly high in our little default Cessna, which means we're gonna have to fiddle around with the mixture a bit. But yeah, it's just a straight little shot, and we'll just be practicing callouts, just kind of the basics. All right, so we'll do a little bit of a checklist here, but we'll check and make sure that Uncle is with us. Now, I don't actually know if I have the intercom turned on at the moment. Let me check. I don't know if that's on or off. Let's see here. Nope, I guess that was off. On, please. I'm actually not too sure. Do we got Uncle Harley there today?
I'm here. How
Oh,
can I
good.
help you today?
Oh, no, no biggie. We're just going to take off here soon from L52 over to Lima 88. We're going to do a pre-flight checklist. See if he's still
All right,
there. Oh.
you're planning to take off from Oceano County, L52, to New Cayama, L88. Let's start with the pre-flight checklist. Here are the key items. 1. Fuel quantity. Ensure you have enough fuel for the trip. You have 13 gallons, which should be sufficient.
Yep.
2. Oil pressure and temperature. Check that oil pressure is within normal range and oil temperature is appropriate. 3. Flight controls. Verify free and correct movement. 4. Instruments. Ensure all instruments are set and functioning. 5. Mixture. Set to rich for takeoff. 6. Flaps. Set as required for takeoff. For example, you might say, fuel quantity. Check. Oil pressure and
Oh,
temperature.
he's giving an example
normal.
now.
Flight controls. Free and correct. Instruments. Set. Mixture. Rich. Flaps. Set for takeoff. Once you're ready, you can request taxi clearance from ground control.
All right. Well, that was very thorough there, Harley. So, yeah, I do actually have a bit of a checklist here. I'm not going to worry about the actual pre-flight one, where you walk around, everything like that. But it's good to do this once in a while. So we'll just run through it. Basically, parking brake is set, and I got to make sure all my little throttle quadrant stuff's working. So that's working good there. We got trim functioning here, and the rudder pedals and everything. I know the yoke's working. So this is some basic checks there. We need the fuel shut off, turned on. Oop. And radio and equipment all turned off. That's fine. It's actually on in the default, but we're not going to worry about it. And circuit breakers don't work in the default one. And yeah, starting engine. So mixture set to rich. Carb heat is cold. Carb heat does function, like it actually changes the RPM in the default Cessna 152, but I don't think there's any carb freezing in it, but I'm not actually sure. It's warm anyways, we're not going to have to worry about that too much anyways. Primer. Now here's something with the default. The primer doesn't actually do anything, but we'll crank it there once. And let's see now. So throttle in the default as well. See, this is why I don't typically do the checklist in the default Cessna 152. A lot of it doesn't actually function. You can start this without priming or without doing any of the throttle stuff. But we'll do as it says. We'll crack it there a little bit. The mixture certainly is simulated, as well as the valve. What else does it need us to do here? So battery's going to be on, of course. There we go. And we're going to want our beacon light. And usually I just turn on the other lights sort of as we go. I can actually see this one. That's the nav light there. We'll turn on taxi light as well. This, doing the taxi light and everything like that's kind of important for NeoFly because it's how you tell NeoFly what you're doing. So it's good to get used to that. And where else are we on the list here? So okay, so basically we're just starting the engine. So you do the old little clear prop thingy, and away we go. There we go. So it doesn't say anything about the alternators, but I'm going to turn that on anyways. Oh yeah, there it is. It was actually right next. A lot of people turn these on together, but from my understanding, you're supposed to wait till the engine is on before you start the alternator. And then there's the ammeter over here that I don't think is simulated in the default either. So it's going to want us to check our RPM. We are set at 1000. Perfect. And oil pressure and everything. Of course, that's going to be good. Don't have to worry about anything breaking here. So after the engine start, we're going to want to lean the mixture. Ooh, I might have shut down the plane, did I? Oh no, there we go. Alright, actually I'm having trouble hearing it. Just my actual volume. I had to turn it down because the multiplayer traffic volume was so loud. And let's see. Oop, I just lost my checklist. Come back, checklist. There we are. So flaps are up. That's a check. Internal lights is required. Cabin and air stuff is required. Avionics set. This is all turned on. Now, I don't know if it's talking about transponder yet. Oh, there's transponder. Set to standby. That's fine. Flight controls already checked. Doors closed, so that's good. And now, basically, we're just at taxi. So this is where we're going to check if we need the pitot heat on. We don't really need today. We will turn it on just for fun. And taxi lights, I already turned them on. So that's good. So taxi's basically releasing the brake. Max speed 15 knots. And you just have to test the brakes, make sure they're working, which is, well, we'll do that when we get taxiing. So that's pretty much it. There's going to be a run-up too, but I'm going to skip the run-up because this plane's just not going to fail and everything's working. There's just don't really need to worry about that. So we'll start doing a bit of a call out here. Now, I have no chart for it, this airport, so I always have to actually go in exterior to see where we gotta go, because we gotta cross the runway. And I should just take a peek over at PilotEdge, because this is where their training comes in. I'm just kind of overviewing it now. It's a really great resource. So I definitely recommend PilotEdge. I've always wanted to sign up for it, but I've never been proficient enough, even though that's kind of what they're for. Even though SayIntentions AI is fantastic because you can, of its flexibility, you can use it everywhere. I don't think nothing beats the actual in-person stuff, right? So, yeah. So I'm just gonna take a look through here, because it does actually walk through scenarios on exactly what you should say. But most of this I already know. I just usually fumble it because, well, I fumble pretty much everything. But we have the comm working and all that good stuff. So we'll just do our call outs here. So, Oceana traffic, Cessna Charlie Whiskey 12 Tango's at transient parking, taxiing to runway 29er. There we go. So that's basically what they recommend. I guess I'm at transient parking.
Nobody is listening on 122.7.
Oh yes, and you will get that because they haven't disabled that yet. That's if you got student pilot enabled. Okay, let's start our taxi. We're gonna pop back into my little checklist because all basically that one said is just checking the brakes. So we'll bring this down, parking brake off, and then we'll just run the brake pedals. Perfect. Okay, so we'll try to keep it under 15 knots. I'm in no hurry today. The video is gonna be log or whatever, but that's just how it goes. We'll see if we can get moving here. Takes a little bit to get this Cessna rolling here. So you'd come out here, and then you would basically stop and check both directions. I'm not going to worry about it because there is no traffic to bump into, but that's typically what you do. Make sure it's clear. And I have no way of like measuring that if we're doing 15 knots or not, but I'll just try to gauge it. There, so we'll cruise down here, and yeah, we'll get ready. Yeah, we won't really do the run up. Let's see now. What would be the next thing? Oh, there's a big before takeoff checklist that we'll do. So I'm getting a little too fast there. We'll just cut the throttle and we'll just kind of glide in here. Here we are. We'll see if the brakes work this time. So this would look like pretty much your run-up area here. I guess you just swing around, do a bit of a 180. We'll just pull up here, and there we go. And we're going to put the parking brake back on. Alright, let's take a look at the checklist. Alright, so the altimeter we already set. Pitot heat as required on, carb heat off. Mixture rich below 3,000, so we'll crank that back up there. We are going to have to lean it because we go above 3,000 feet. Flaps as required. We got lots of runway, so we're not going to be using any flaps for takeoff. Elevator trim. Thank you for reminding me, checklist. I'm just going to be setting my trim on my throttle quadrant. That's usually where I like take off. Oh, what else do we have here? Flight instruments check, and engine instruments check, avionics check. This is all going to be in the green. Oil pressure is a little low, but it'll come back up. Again, default Cessna, nothing's going to go wrong with it. Don't need to worry about it. I mean, real life, I'd be paranoid about all this stuff. Windows are closed. Indoor latch, yeah, because they don't open in this plane. And that's it. So normal takeoff. Basically, parking brake off, brakes release, throttle, slowly apply full, rotate at 50 knots, and I usually like to climb out about 50 knots or 70 knots. And then yeah, we'll cruise. Cruise around 90 knots or so. There's different speeds you can really select. I guess normal cruise is about 80 knots or so. I'm just looking further down the checklist. There's also emergency procedures, which we could take a look at really quick. Sometimes they're interesting to see. But we will do our call out here. Okay, so we'll set that up, see if I can find my home button. Got it all set over on my throttle quadrant. Now let me see here. Oceana traffic, Cessna Charlie Whiskey 12 Tango, departing runway 29, departing pattern to the east, climbing to 5,500, Oceana traffic. There, so I'm going to start at 5,500, just because we don't really need to go that high. It's the...
Nobody's listening on 122.7.
The mountains come up a little later, so then we'll climb up. We'll see how we do. All right, so we're gonna get that, and then we'll get out on the runway. Take a peek at the checklist again. Just over on my other screen, because I think I lost the checklist. Oh no, here it is. I've got my checklist. Let's get out there anyways. So, parking brake off. Then you just basically look around, make sure no one's gonna smug into you. Haven't heard any traffic for a while. I had other coming through, but I didn't have the recording going at the time. There we go. So then you would go through basically your next checklist and any kind of emergency procedures or things like that. But we know all that. Rotate 50 knots in the climb, so that's all good there. So in the climb, verify the flaps are up. And then landing lights and taxi lights. So let's turn on the landing lights. There we go. And carb beat is required, PTOT is required. Good. Now there is going to be emergency procedures, typically if engine fails on the way out. So let's just take a look. Engine failed during takeoff run, throttled idle, apply brakes, obviously. Retract the flaps, which they are retracted. And then cut off the mixture. And then turn off the battery and the ignition. So I don't quite understand why you turn these off, I guess. So there's no fire that starts from the electrical. So that's typically what happens. So if during takeoff we have an engine failure, that's what we do. And you typically do this so you just have it fresh in your memory. And then if it fails immediately after takeoff, we need to trim for 60 knots, which is going to be like best glide or so. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut the mixture and fuel shut off, ignition switch, and then flaps as required to maintain the 60 knots, and master switch off. So that's kind of the emergency procedures there. So basically, if you start to take off, you would set a certain point if you're not at a certain speed down the runway, and when you would abort the takeoff. So basically, if we have an engine problem, it's going to be halfway down the runway, and then we just kind of throttle everything out, cut the engine, and apply the brakes. So that is the checklist. Okay, so 20 minutes in, we're about to take off. But that is how long it sort of takes to go over everything and check everything, and that was me setting up stuff ahead of time. So yeah, no head tracker today. I kind of have a difficult time with it since it's just the free, like, open track webcam one. I have a kind of hard time keeping it stable and all that. So here we go. Airspeed is alive, and we're approaching 50 knots. We're going to rotate 50 knots. There we go. And we'll try to rudder it out and keep runway hitting till we clear it. It is polite to stay on runway hitting until you clear the runway.
Good morning, pilot. You're currently flying at about
Hello,
100
Harley.
feet, heading 290 at 70 knots. Your indicated airspeed is 66 knots. Given your current position, you're near the California coast, close to the town of Oceano. The altimeter setting is 2994.
Thanks, Harley. So there, we try to climb at 70 knots, but I'm pitched too high for that. We're gonna try and gain some airspeed, see if we can trim for 70 knot climb. And we'll start to do the turn. We want to head mainly to the east. So I do have the Navigraph opened in GPS mode, so I do have GPS for the flight. And there isn't really any more radio calls to do unless you want to contact Los Angeles Center, but the training doesn't really have that. That's a thing, so we probably won't. So there we go. Yeah, so about east, just a little east-southeast action. And yeah, now I'm going to try and play with the trim a little bit. See if we can climb, because we got to get way up to 5,500. And I'll see if I have my wing leveler working on this plane, or if it got turned off. Can't really tell if my wing level is on or not. Oh, that's not on. Oh, maybe I don't have a wing leveler today. But that's fine, we'll make do. I think, it doesn't seem to be on. I went into the aircraft config and oh, it might have been on there. Yeah, it was. Okay. So I do have it on there. So let's just correct a little bit. Wing leveler is all you need. No fancy autopilot required. Alright, climbing too high. Gonna try and get the trim set here. Or climbing too fast, that is. Passing 2,000 feet. And there we are. Oceano, past there. And we can check Navigraph to see. I think I have to turn a bit more to the right. Let's just take a look on over there. Oh no, I'm not on the purple line. But the heading's pretty much correct. So we can do a small turn to the left. And that is about it for now. We bubbled up a little bit. 75 knot climb. We're going to keep going because our goal is the 5,500. There, so that should be about right. Yes, there's not a whole lot to do with the SayIntentions. I mean, at the moment, we can talk to Harley. Let's see what he has to say about Lima 88. So, I already forget the name. New Kiyama? I'm not familiar with it at all. Let's see now. Hey Harley, what do you know about Lima 88 airport we're going to? Might as well make some conversation.
L80, or New Kiama Airport, is a small public use airport in Santa Barbara County, California. It has one asphalt runway, 1028, which is about 3,900 feet long. The airport is unattended, so you'll need to self-announce on the CTAF frequency, which is 122.9 MHz. Make sure to check for any NOTAMs before you arrive.
Okay, that's good advice. So it's 122.9. Let's just hop back over to Navigraph since the climb and everything looks good here. We're at 3,500 feet, so I just got to keep an eye on it while we jump back here to the map. How far do we got to go? Oh, it's a good little distance. So if we go over to... Let's see here. Show airport chart, show information. Let's open the airport. And comms. Oh. No. There's no comms? So maybe we will stick with what we're on there. Say 122.7, even though Harley says 122.9. I don't know where he's getting the information. Because I don't see it here. There's no chart or anything. Normally I would look up ChartFox or something like that, because sometimes you can find them in here. Okay, we'll just announce on where we are. Or maybe PilotEdge actually might have it. Okay, I'm gonna have a question for Harley here too in a minute, but let's just check, see how we're doing. We're gonna have to lean the mixture a bit here. Because we're still climbing, engine's running hard. Didn't hear any change in the engine there. So we're approaching 5,000, maybe we'll lean using some more. Well, we'll play with that a bit. Right now it seems happy enough. No, that dropped. Yep, no. Right about there. So at 5,000 feet, look at the little Cessna go. Let's see who's around here. And we're going to be stopping the climb here very soon. Air's going to start getting thin. And then I do have to check with Harley here, because PilotEdge says we're supposed to be monitoring 1 to 1.5, but I don't know what that is. So let's monitor it. You're supposed to be monitoring this whenever you're not doing any communication with ATC. So I guess if we did flight following, you wouldn't have to do that. We're going to throttle down and actually start our cruise. I'm at 5,500. See if we can get it sorted out here. Just gotta play with the trim a little bit. Don't want to throttle down too much. So I'll just take a moment before we trim out here correctly. I think that should be pretty good. Nose down a little more, I believe. That's, I mean, if you can get some sort of axis set up on the trim wheel, it makes it so much easier. So just gonna sort that out. What are we at? 2,300? The RPM is a bit high for cruise. So we probably should throttle down a little bit. Ooh. Not a bad day for flying, but look at the cloud cover right on top of the mountains. There, this should stabilize fairly well. 90 knots. And we're gaining speed, so we should level off. I think that's going to be pretty good. Now we can, it's got to hop over to Navigraph here again. Let's just check on our progress. Where are we? How are we doing on course here? So we're going to the, too much to the right. So we need to do a bit of a turn to the left. So that should be easy enough to do. I think the wind's maybe blowing us a bit to the right. So we'll do a correction, and I'll check on PilotEdge what else they need us to do. Maybe we'll go more straight east and we'll intercept it. We'll probably just get blown back to the right anyways. But yeah, I wanted to check with Harley. So here's where SayIntentions really shines here. You'll have to ask me some questions here. Hey Harley, I've got a question about radio communication here. My understanding is if we're not monitoring any communication with like a control or a tower or anything like that, that we're supposed to always monitor 121.5. What's that about? See if he interprets that. It might take a while for them to process that. Ramble.
Yes, that's correct. 121.5. MHC is the emergency frequency, also known as GUARD. It's monitored by ATC and other aircraft for emergency communications. Always keep an ear on it in case of distress calls or important broadcasts.
Okay, cool. Yeah, GUARD, I remember that. Alright, so we've got that, which we don't have it monitored because I don't have both turned on. Ah, so there you go. So I noticed that. Oh, I need to nose up just a little. No, not nose down, nose up there, aircraft. And I'm just gonna scoot over to PilotEdge again because aircraft's looking good here. We're gonna climb just a little bit to bring us back. And then I just want to read through PilotEdge what else we need to do. Okay, so here's the thing. We're supposed to announce 10 miles away? Or... I forget. See, we're a bit off course. I'm going to have to turn left again. Oop, that was kind of hard. I was kind of reading through it here. Like how far away... And I think I missed it, but the thing is, I don't have any way. This has always been my problem. I don't have any way of measuring distance in Navigraph. Like, how do I know how far away I am? See, I just don't know. Oh, I guess down here. Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay, so that's 5 kilometers. Okay, because I think it's about 10 kilometers you announce. Or I think it said something about no more than 15. I was just checking back on it because they got lots of good information here. Yeah, it recommends that position report is made when 10 miles away from the airport. And when entering downwind and base leg and on final and vacating the runway. Okay. They said it was like there was a maximum too, and I think the maximum was 15 miles or so. So if we hop back, well actually you guys are already seeing it. So we need to, so this is 5, okay, so 10's pretty close. Okay. Oh, look at those mountains up ahead. Hey Harley, from our current position to our destination, Lima 88, what's the maximum altitude of the mountains? Like, is that mountain far, like...
Alright, from your current position, head 085 degrees for about 30 miles to reach New Kayama Airport, L88. Keep an eye on your altitude and speed. Safe flying.
Oh no, he didn't answer my question. Hold on. Our noses, we're gonna have to throttle up a bit. RPM's a bit high though.
Ocean Pacific, TVM Hotel Tango, and your mic, departure runway 29er, straight out departure VFR 2500. Ocean.
Oh, so that's Oceana still there?
Oceano traffic, Piper 874 Mike Hotel, 10 miles southeast, descending out of 2,000 feet inbound, straight in, runway 29er, Oceano.
I'm just looking now over on PilotEdge to see what frequency we're supposed to do the Unicom on. Oh no, look at that. Harley was correct. We need 122.9. Good job, Harley. 122.9 is for... I don't know how you get that information besides a PilotEdge. That's, I mean, there should be a chart or something that you can probably find with ChartFox or whatever. So there, we're gonna monitor on that one and do the call out there. Maybe we'll ask more simply to Harley here. So Harley, if we keep flying at this altitude, am I gonna hit a mountain before getting to Lima 88? And we'll ask more straightforward. Oh, I confuse him. Oh, he's really thinking. He's got to calculate. Or maybe he just won't get back to us. I have to do another turn, though. Yeah, because I think if we jump back to... I don't know if he's going to answer. If we jump back and have a look at the map here, I'm doing a turn. It might say the height on... Whoa! The turn got away from me there. It might say somewhere... There's a certain height. Don't actually see it. There's a nav point. Oh, here we go. This is 4,700. Here we got a squint on these ones. 1,000. Something gets up to 7,000. But I'm not seeing it in front of me. Oh, we're way down here. We're off course. I think the wind keeps blowing us that way. So if we go this way, I don't really see like any huge numbers. I guess we're okay, even though it doesn't look that great in front of me. Like, this has got to be where the height is, right? What's this one? Oh, here we go. That's 5,000. So this color's 5,000. What's this one? This 5,000 as well? Yeah, so it looks like we should be clear at 5,000. Well, we'll have some fun anyways. See if we skim right through. So let me just, as we're using our GPS here, we're going right for it. Okay, so we'll stay there. And then 3 kilometers, 6 kilometers. As soon as we get over these high parts, that's kind of when we should call in. So I should get back to the airplane. Oop. And get back to PilotEdge here. To see what exactly I should do. Let me see now. Yeah, so it's just going to be talking to traffic, saying where we are, and then what our intentions are. So now it says runway 28, but I'm pretty sure it's 29. Or was the runway we took off of? Yeah, it's 29, not 28. So no biggie though. Okay, so there's not much to do. I don't know what happened to Harley. Hey Harley, is there any mountains up ahead that we might be running into here at this altitude? Somehow I lost him.
At your current altitude of 5,700 feet, you're clear of any significant mountains ahead. The terrain around here is mostly rolling hills. Keep an eye on your charts for any changes.
What are you talking about, rolling hills? It sure doesn't look like I'm gonna clear it. So we'll stay at the 5,500 because the map says 5,000. So we'll throttle down a little bit. It's getting a little roggy here. Let's go exterior for a minute. Enjoy the view. I gotta make sure I turned Navigraph off. Yeah, there we go. There we are. Got some players around. The Cessna working hard. I don't have my checklist anymore, so I'm gonna have to do the landing by memory, which isn't too bad anyways. Sometimes it's nice just to watch the plane in the exterior view. It looks like we're gonna clear though. So that's pretty cool. So I wonder where the 7000 is. Must be down more. We switch over here. The 7000 must be down. Where does the color change? I need my glasses on for this here, because this color is 5000. What's the green? Is the green the taller, or does that just mean there's trees? Huh. I wonder where it gets to 7000. You here maybe? Nope, I don't know. Something gets to 7,000. What's this one? Oh, that's the top because it's marked. Okay, so we're good. We don't have to do the 7,500. But yeah, once we get over this, we're gonna get a little rocky here. So let's turn that off. It's gonna get a little bumpy as we get right close here. Oh, and we're dropping too. We're gonna throttle up. This is going to be pretty close. We're getting blown right sideways. Look at the wind pulling us down. This isn't good. This isn't good. That's not good at all. Look at the wind take us. Oh my. That's kind of cool. Okay, we're going to throttle right up. Make sure we clear because we lost a lot of altitude coming in there. A downdraft or something. Right down to 5,000 feet. We're still falling. There we go. We got a climb going now. We weren't gonna make it. We lost 500 feet in like no time. I'm still dropping. Uh-oh. Alright, we'll clear it here. There's a bus up there. Go through this little spot. That's not close at all. Hey, we made it through. We're just gonna stay full throttle here for a bit. Yeah, that's why they had you going at 7,500. Honestly, the wind must really push you down because when you get near there, right? Because I'm climbing like a rocket now. Alright, I gotta check the map here, because now I'm probably off course. Oh no, we're on there. 3, 6, okay, so we're about 10 miles now. Oh wait, are we supposed to be in miles or kilometers? Probably nautical miles, right? So, 2, 4, 6, okay, we're definitely there. So let me figure out what we need to say. Where is my instruction manual? Alright. Let's see here. What is it called? New Kuyama? New Kuyama traffic. Cessna Charlie Whiskey 12 Tango is 8 miles west, 5,500. Full stop landing runway 28. New Kuyama. So I had to stop there because I looked at like the wrong line. You're not really supposed to read, but
Nobody
I'm
is
just going to
listening
guess.
on 122.9er.
Yes, I know no one's listening. Oh, now we're climbing too much. I gotta throttle down. Okay, did I lose my nice wing leveler? Look at the climb. Isn't that crazy? Okay. I have my wing leveler on now, so I can like look away. There's a plane I can see up there. That's cool. WJA 1699. That must be like AI traffic or something. Okay, so we're gonna start descending because I'm climbing. We're gonna throttle right back. You can see, so I'll show you on Navigraph. There we are. Did it update where my position is? Yeah, so they're about east. Alright, so that's that. Up back here. What else do I need to do? Instruction manual. Okay, so basically I just have to announce when I enter downwind. Runway 29. 29 I need. I don't remember if I said 28 or 29, but anyways, it's 29. And now we're just, we just need to descend. Pretty fast, too. Let's just glide for a little while. This is where you would put your carb heat on. See if I can actually see the runway. Should be over here to our right. Let's see. I said it's asphalt. So it should be 4 miles. Over here somewhere. Maybe at 1 o'clock. Well, we're gonna have to locate it. That would be important. That would be important indeed. We are 3 miles from it now. Still gliding down from our big adventure in the mountains. There's something cool over there. So we need Janet jibber jabbering on. Let's check what will be the pattern. 3,200 feet would be the pattern altitude. We gotta throttle up now. I am almost 2 miles west. Should be right ahead. We're almost at traffic pattern.
Good morning. We're currently flying 3 miles west of Newtown Airport at 3,300 feet. The altimeter setting is 2991. If you need any help or have questions about the flight, feel free to ask. By the way, did you know that Cessna aircraft like ours are known for their reliability and ease of handling? Perfect for student pilots.
Yeah, I did know that. It is perfect for a student pilot. Okay, I can't see it because I'm not close enough.
Absolutely. The Cessna is a great aircraft for student pilots. It's forgiving and easy to handle. For example, when you're practicing landings, remember to keep your approach speed around 6-5 knots and use full flaps for a smooth touchdown.
Yeah, I have trouble with those full flaps. Sometimes they go too slow. Actually, I should tell them that. Yeah, sometimes I have trouble when I go full flaps on the landing because it gets me going too slow. You stall out and plunk into the ground.
When you go full flaps, it increases drag significantly, which can slow you down too much if you're not careful. Try using partial flaps instead. For example, if you're using 30 degrees of flaps, try 20 degrees and see if that helps maintain your speed better. Adjust your approach speed accordingly.
That's a good idea, Harley. kind of do. Oh, here it is right now.
Indeed, it's always a good idea to plan ahead. For example,
Look at that,
if you
came
know your
right into-
destination, you can start thinking about your approach and landing.
Yeah.
If you need any help with navigation or procedures, just let me know.
New Kuyama traffic. Cessna Charlie Whiskey 12 Tango is downwind. Runway 29er. Full stop. I'm not repeating the traffic thing because I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyways, we gotta focus now.
Nobody is listening on 122.9er.
We gotta focus now. I'm too close. We're right at traffic pattern altitude. We're gonna drop back. We're going too fast. We might extend our downwind. Yeah, I'm gonna extend a little bit. And we got to trim up. Okay. Drop flaps. Okay. New Kuyama traffic. Cessna Charlie Whiskey 12 Tango is turning base. Runway 29er. Oh, we just lost a lot of speed there, man. Windy or something. Drop down. Where's the runway? Oh man, we're way, way. See, I came in way too tight. We'll correct though, we'll correct. So we're actually gonna throttle up and drop flaps one more notch. Give me some more room to play around with here. Look at the wind. Good, correct. Holy smokes. The wind's really playing around with it. We could do a go around, probably should. We'll call traffic anyway, or we'll call final anyways. New Kuyama traffic. 12 Tango on final, runway 29er. Man, oh man. Look at the trees in front of it. We're coming in hot. Well, 70 knots isn't horrible. So we'll lift up over the trees. Yeah, they definitely wouldn't be there. Whoop. We're gonna float for a little bit. So we had to clear those trees. There we go. Good. Yeah, what did you think of that landing there, Harley? Oh, my parking brake's on. I hit it there.
That landing was a bit firm. Try to flare a bit more gently next time to smooth it out.
Oh, it wasn't that
practicing.
bad. Oh, it wasn't that bad, Harley. I've had worse. Okay, where do we,
Got it. Let's focus on your taxi instructions. You're currently on the ground, heading 290 at 8 knots. Make sure to follow the taxiway markings and listen for any instructions from ground control.
Oh,
if
there
you need
isn't.
to request taxi instructions, you can say, ground, Cessna Charlie Whiskey 12 Tango. Request taxi to the active runway. Remember, always read back the instructions you received to confirm. For example, taxi to runway 28 via Alpha, Bravo, Cessna Charlie Whiskey 12 Tango.
Good job, Harley. Yeah, I think the parking's down here. Yay, we made it though. Rough landing, but that's just my style. Oh yeah, they got a lot of things here. Whole little base of operations. Oh, they want us over here. That wind really played havoc on us, though. Perfect. All right. And, well, we never really said clear of the runway, but, let's see here. New Kuyama traffic, 12 Tango, clear of the runway. There we are. So, yeah, there would be a normal shutdown. Checklist.
Nobody's listening on 122.9er.
Yeah, they never are. I'm gonna have to turn the student pilot thing off, I think. But then Harley talks less, but maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Anyway, so let's shut her down. So we made it. So next time on PilotEdge, we take off from here, and then we're supposed to go to San Luis, and then you start talking to air traffic control. So it'd be interesting to see how the AI responds compared to like how PilotEdge says like a person would respond. I'm kind of curious about that. I'll do it next time. And sort of keep on learning. So I'll just shut her all down. And that's it for now. So thanks a bunch for watching. Take care, guys. Hopefully see you in the next one.